I come to you now from the hole we have created in the car. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Porsche 944 EV project. Today, well, we're gonna get this dashboard out. Sorry it's been a while, but we're gonna cut what we need to cut and maybe some things we don't need to cut to get that out. And we might even get that strip disc out and try and get rid of some of this rust too. What we are gonna be doing is trying to be really safe and not injuring anyone this time. Oh no, oh. I am going to be using a tool I've never used before, but I will watch a YouTube video or read the instructions. So wish me luck, we're going to cut it out. We've also added to our Milwaukee kit with this sander. She doesn't even know the name of it, it's just a sander. Has it got like a name, like a spinning, sanding, oh, I don't know. It's the amazingly named M18 Boss 1250, a sander, basically. So we got this, so we can do some more sanding of the car, maybe when we want something a bit less aggressive than the discs that we have at the moment. So after Martin's injury last time, we kind of ran out of here, and my wife is a nurse. We tried to get him patched up as quickly as possible, and I just left everything, threw it all on the floor. And I kind of avoided coming back out here since then. So we'll start with the classic tidying up montage. Much tidier now. It started to rain, but thank God we've got our workspace. As you guys will remember from when we were setting up the workshop, I was pretty excited to get my 3D printer in here. I bought it a few years ago. I didn't use it much, but the thing that was exciting about it was all the 3D printers I had up until that time were really hard to use. You had to set them up for like an hour before you tried to print something, and then it normally went wrong as well. Whereas this one was a little bit more simple. It tended to do what you expected it to do, and I've maybe printed out 5 or 6 things from it before it then gathered dust before moving it here into the workshop. Now, between when I moved it in here and now, Anker seemingly have abandoned 3D printers altogether. They are not going to make them anymore, apparently not going to support them, you can't get the parts for them. So I imagine fairly soon this is going to become a paperweight. And that's really sad, but it does make me think, what 3D printer should I get? This is actually too small for the concept pieces I want to work on, like wing mirrors for the car, maybe door handles, stuff like that. And I think the Bamboo Labs stuff is pretty good, but you guys will know more than me. So down in the comments, tell me what 3D printer I should get next to live in the workshop. So this boy is the offending item. He needs to come out. We unbolted a bunch of things and unscrewed them, and it didn't seem to make any difference. Now, if we can get that out, I believe sort of behind here, it curves down into behind the dash where the actual heating matrix would have been supplying, you know, the hot air into the car. And that's why we can't get the bit out that's inside the car as well. So yeah, I don't want to damage anything around here. I don't want to damage the firewall or anything, but I just want to get this out. And to be honest, it looks pretty rusty and in a bit of a state anyway. So I think this one is one for the bin. So I think the first thing we're going to need to do is to remove as many screws as we can, because even though we might be using the multi-tool to cut through some things that we can't see, we can't even prise it away at the moment. It's really stuck down, so we would definitely be cutting through more than we need to cut through. So let's get as much of it off here as we can.
Am I in the shop?
No. I kind of left it in a bit of a state after what happened to Martin last time, because we just kind of escaped. Yeah, it's quite a while. What the hell? Can't even get the first bit out. Story of my YouTube channel. What the hell is that connected to? Uh-oh. Well, it's going well so far. I was pretty sure that was going to come off, but it hasn't. Oh, well, this is off. Why isn't this one coming out as well? Never let it be said that I don't know what I'm doing. What I don't understand is why this doesn't become any less solid no matter how many screws I take out of it. It's like, it's so solid. And maybe just maybe there is a gasket or something like that is almost like glued it together. But this may just be me making excuses for the fact that I can't get the damn thing apart. Can't get to that one. Screwdriver. But I don't know what I'm doing, sweetheart, so...
Yeah, it looks like you have no idea. You've got a very big hole in your car.
I think it's time for drastic measures.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just to... That's that bit. Why won't that even come out? See, this should come away, I feel like it should come away. It does move a tiny bit down this end, but then somewhere here it gets stuck. Then that feels like a clip. Is that a clip? Does that unclip? It does unclip. It does. Is there one? Well, this is going to make it even more annoying that I haven't got this screw out on the other side. How the hell do I get that screw? So I'm taking the rash move of removing the bonnet, the clips through the hydraulic struts. Yeah, I broke off some bits and then wedged some screwdrivers through, so my wife will run to my assistance to remove those when I have got hold of the bonnet, which I'm assuming is of a weight that I can carry. So I'm now going to unbolt some bolts on both sides and hope for the best. We're going to take the bonnet off. It will give us more access to get this bad boy out. Wish me luck. This looks like a job for the handy Halford's Advanced socket set that I bought. Bonnet. We're not in America here, this is the bonnet. When I say we're going to pull that out while holding this, I'm just going to pull that out. Okay, my one is still attached kind of by a bolt. Oh no, that bolt's... 1 second. He doesn't want to come out. Oh, there we go. Right. So don't do anything rash yet. Now, okay, we can put it down a bit so we can get both our hands underneath it. Down a bit, down, your side down. Down. Now, we can pull that out. And just place that down on the car somewhere. Now, lift up the bonnet. Now don't go too fast because I've got to just cut.
I'm attached into the car here.
We're going to lift it, but we're going to put this edge on the piece of polystyrene where that thing is at the back. Okay. Not these edges because it'll damage it.
So we're lifting it up?
Lifting it up, we'll go over the top of the car. And then on that piece of polystyrene, we're going to tilt it so the front goes on it.
Over.
Not those two pointy outy bits. Determined to at least get this bit out of the middle of the car. That'll make the video for sure. Wiping your husband down.
I was handy, I thought you might be.
Oh! Yeah, he's not looking good. Drink my tea because it'll get cold, okay. Don't do that, guys. Son of a bitch. So after some hot, I mean really hot considering it's raining outside, and sweaty work, we have achieved a couple of things. We have taken the bonnet off the car, and we have taken the shroud off the top of this, which has given us access to a couple more screws. Also the motor for the heater, the fan of the heater. I mean, we're not going to need that, so I'm going to take that off. It's still not immediately clear how we're going to get this thing out, but if that's the only thing we do in this video, this is what we're going to achieve. So I'm going to remove this motor, and then we're going to see what we can do below. Just going to snip it off. There's no evidence that this thing works or doesn't work. We can get rid of that tube there, and then it's wired into some other stuff, which I'm just going to chop halfway down just in case we need to do anything to put this back on. There we go. Ugly motory thing for the fans has been removed. We should put it where the engine should be. Right, I can see a screw here. I'm going to assume there's one on the other side, but this thing is solidly mounted still. I'm not entirely sure how, or whether it's just where it's like connected to what's inside the car. This is off to one side. I can see it through here now. Yeah, so I'm going to undo these ones here and here, and we'll see if that gives us any additional movement. This is not the tool for the job, guys. Oh my God. Guys, success. We got this thing out. This bit's out. Another bit, another success. Oh, it's moving inside the car, guys. It's moving inside the car as well. Oh my God. I gotta set up a camera in there so we can see what's going on. Something at the bottom, I think. Do you reckon it's up in the transmission tunnel? There's something down here. Maybe that. Okay. Ah. Something at the bottom. Something at the bottom, guys. Does anyone know? I feel like it's a drain or something for liquid that gathers in the bottom of the heater. I mean, it would make sense that something like that would exist. He thinks, because he doesn't really know what he's talking about. Go over the wiring loom. You'll be free. You're not going to need the wiring loom, but I'm not entirely sure I want to chop it all to pieces. Oh, there was some old skanky liquid in there, guys. Woohoo! There's a hole in the car. I come to you now from the hole we have created in the car. The heating stuff is out. It's actually created loads more space inside here. Can I wave? Hey guys, hole in the car. Yay. That was a real pain in the ass. I think there's lots of stuff that got kind of turned to like glue on the gasket. In fact, I can see some of it here, really sticky. That was holding it down. It was made of multiple pieces. We had screws that had rusted and kind of didn't have any kind of end on them anymore that we had to rip out. This all is in good nick now that we're in here. The metal looks good. I mean, it would be. It's probably been covered since the car was bought. So this is what we've managed to do. This was the whole area where we previously had it was actually the fan for the heater. Then you have like the heater matrix and everything over there, and then it gets pumped into the car. But as you can see now, we can see all the way into the car. Hello, car interior. So ripping this out has a profound change to the interior. So it used to come up to about here, all of the gubbins for the heating, and take up quite a lot of space in what was already a very cramped cockpit. You sit very close to the front of the car, and I want to make some big changes here. So one of them would be I'm going to restyle the entire cockpit, and this will be based around a much more modern design, but also trying to look at, because we've got batteries, because we don't want this to be a particularly massively long range car, how much room we have elsewhere for putting things like the heating and stuff like that further forward in the car. Secondary, I would love to maybe change the steering rack, maybe for something that was adjustable in one way or another. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. Maybe issues with getting it road legal if we do that. But either way, the idea was to shift the seat back further into the car and create a more cocooning, modern, maybe a bit minimalist, not Tesla minimalist, but minimalist style cockpit, and maybe even have exposed but very cool ducting to where the air flows into the car. I think this gives us loads of options, and seeing how much space there is now that this part's removed, and we're going to have more that we can remove over there. Still a very cramped cockpit, but I think there's a lot that we can do here. And if you can imagine that, got space in here for the batteries also, and in this sort of wider space that would have gone through into the back of the engine as well, and we're not going to have the back seats as well. I think, we can get the seats much further back than they would have been, creating an area cockpit. I think they're going to be, a more modern class of seat as well. So we've just got to work that out with all of the seat belts and everything. But there's a lot more stripping of stuff to do on the interior here now. We want to get really back to being able to build this out. And when we actually respray the car, I know that's a long way away, we want to make sure that we've done it, getting rid of every single little bit of rust and rubbish on this car. But really excited that we managed to get that horrible heating element out of the car, and you can see all the way out to the front. Didn't expect to have to take the bonnet off as well though, but needs must. At some point, we're going to have to take out the glass. I'm pretty terrified about that because, I don't know what I'm doing. So that's the story for another day. We've obviously got all of this sort of old foam, which, would have been for sound deadening, because there would have been a transaxle transmission. We would have had, a drive shaft going down the car. So it could have been quite noisy and everything. All of this is horrible and old. I don't want to remove it unless I've got like a mask on, because I don't really know much about whether this is going to be horrible and toxic. But again, I want to get this all back down to the metal or to, a lower coat of paint, because all of this stuff is going to be redone in a much cooler and more modern way. I'm actually really pleased that we managed to get that out of the car. I've been putting this off a little bit since the accident we had last time. And there's been an awful lot going on in the house, and most of my equipment is in storage because of that. And I've just been like a bit dreading coming back out here because I had such a failure trying to get that out last time. And it seemed to me like something that should be simple to get out, and I felt like an idiot. So I'm really happy that this time, with fairly minimal destruction and minimal injury, that we've managed to get that out. I thought we might just try that dreaded disc that we were using last time to see, what does it do with this sort of underseal, which we are going to want to get rid of all the underseal because it's all going to be redone, but also, these areas of rust on here. It's really great that the wing that has caused the injury but been completely stripped down has sat in here, where I thought the humidity was maybe a bit high, but it's showing no signs of rust or anything like that. So just for my peace of mind, I want to see what happens if I hit these with the same disc. I will wear the appropriate protection. Let's give that a go. Got the mask on. Double goggled.
to be working, guys. Let's have a look at this next bit.
So we've had some success. First, I used my PPE, which is great. Second, and I'm going to stop now because these will be famous last words, I haven't sliced myself. And then you can see that the strip disc has had no trouble getting rid of some of this incredibly thick, I mean it's like 4 or 5 mil thick, maybe more in places. It's got no trouble in getting rid of it, and we're finding good metal underneath, but it's going to be like a long job getting all that off. And if there's a really good way to remove this rather than just grinding it off, because I don't think anything like a paint stripper will even touch it, but like, do tell me, maybe I need to be sort of scraping at it first. Let me know in the comments down below, please. But what we're also finding, and I tried this with the wire wheel as it were as well, is that this undercowl that actually sits across the bottom of the windscreen, there's clearly an area in either corner where the water sits. It's probably coming down the A-pillar, which is part of the same piece, annoyingly, I think. And then it's been able to rest here, and it's actually pitted the metal, even gone through it in places. So I'm getting the feeling that these are going to need, it's not structural as such, but they're going to need to be replaced because this is metal sitting on top of metal sitting on top of metal. So if there's rust on this surface level, so I'm told, there will be rust elsewhere. So once the windscreen's out, we're going to have to look at getting rid of this cowling across the top. Yeah, that's not worth investigating further at the moment, but it's good to see that the wire wheel also did a decent job, but especially the strip discs, because we are going to want to do that to all of the underseal, because we are going to want to take this car as much back to the metal as possible. But it's been good to see that the wire wheel and the strip disc are doing the job, because before we do any kind of final fit of the electric stuff, and I know we haven't even done a first fit yet, we are going to want to be able to strip this all back, get it all sealed up and properly painted and looking pucker. So more investigation with good results. So I've been super lucky that there's already been some generous companies that have come forward and said, hey, we could sponsor you, you could review this thing. But at the moment, I don't feel that they're hyper relevant to what we're trying to do here, so I've kind of avoided it. I would love to have some help and assistance with this project, but if you guys are gonna watch it and listen to it, I kind of feel that as this is an EV conversion channel at the moment, got some restoring of old cars, just some sort of information around old cars, and then we're talking about new interiors and stuff like that. I will keep my fingers crossed and wait for maybe an opportunity that is really connected to what we're doing that, you know, you guys are going to enjoy hearing about as well. I want to say a great big thank you. We have somehow amassed nearly 3,500 subscribers on the channel. I've nearly stuck to a video every single month as well. So just a huge thank you to everyone that's watching, commenting and subscribing. But interesting stat, nearly 90% of the people watching this are not subscribed. So it would really help me out. Please consider subscribing, and I will see you in a month's time.